Hey, what's up everybody? ESAM here, bringing you another video. This one going to be the first video of, yet again, another tier list video. I feel like it's been quite a while since I've done one of these. I'm trying to do them probably at the end of every year. And yeah, this is going to be a bottom up, as always, tier list that I do for the end of 2017. Some of my opinions have changed very clearly, and this one's going to be a little different. I feel like I'm going to talk a little bit less about the characters until I get into the high top tiers where really the distinctions matter. But for the lower end, I'm going to try to like rattle through them. I'm also going to put gameplay on the screen because magic, because I feel like just staring at this screen isn't exactly entertaining regardless of how much information I am saying. But anyway, let us go get started. I'm going to be doing my bottom 10 in this video, starting with who in my opinion is the worst character in the game, 1111 me Brawler. He's bad. He's really bad. He has combos at low percents, which is actually pretty good. He has a decent landing nair similar to Mario's, but the main problem with him is outside of like the first 30%, his throws are all garbage. His recovery is very mediocre. All he pretty much has that is good is his down B, which is the little worse zero suit flip jump. But considering that's his only option, you're not really scared of anything else. It's kind of easy to just go out there and edge guard him, drag him down. You know, he does have somewhat difficulty having a vertical recovery. Obviously, not as bad as with helicopter kick, but still pretty bad. He has no kill confirms that are relevant. His side B is significantly weaker than Captain Falcon's. His main kill move, in my opinion, is like up smash, and that maybe kills at like 115, 120, and that's just not good. I'm assuming like midweight characters, right? And I might be giving him a little bit too much credit. It is very hard for this character to do pretty much anything. He can't really edge guard because none of his aerials kill. He doesn't have that many kill confirms. A lot of the things that me Brawler gets is just, oh, you don't know what you're doing versus this character, so this is going to work. And yeah, it's actually really unfortunate for him. I do think he is the worst character of the game, worse than the next couple of characters. Speaking of which, obviously gonna get them out of the way. I feel like everyone kind of knows who like the worst characters in the game are. Jigglypuff. So Jigglypuff does have a few things, a decent aerials, they can complement to itself. Obviously you have rest to clutch out big plays, but at the same time Jigglypuff has no ground game. The shield game is so scary for her because if you break her shield, she obviously dies in one hit. You know, she does have a pretty good roll, actually. Her roll is one of the better rolls as far as I'm aware, but she gets nothing off of grabs. She has no real kill confirms off of any ground moves, so she's going to have to be playing aerial, and the thing about that is she cannot trade because she's one of the lightest characters, the lightest character in the game. So if you're just trading with her because she's throwing out aerials and you're doing even less percent than she is, like let's say she does 8, you do 6, you're still winning because Jigglypuff is going to die earlier than every single character in this entire game. So she can't play the trading game. She can't, I mean, she can edge guard pretty well and play really evasive, but to do that she has to have the lead, and a meaningful lead, because if Jigglypuff has like a small lead, it won't really matter just because she can die so much earlier. So until you get the first stock, Jigglypuff really does not have a lead. And she's also really susceptible to rage because 1, she doesn't get it very often because she's going to die, and 2, rage just absolutely bothers her. Any like little jank things that characters have will work so much earlier on her, like let's say Shine Spark or Zero Suit's up B pushing out or Bayonetta rage. It works so much earlier on her, and it is so unfortunate, and that is one of the things that really puts the nail in the coffin for Jigglypuff. I think terrible. And again, after me Brawler, I don't really know who is worse out of the next couple characters, because as I go, pretty much every single character is even if they're on the same tier. Obviously, the other commonly thought of bad character is going to be Ganondorf. So Ganondorf, very slow, very immobile, very susceptible to both juggling, edge guards, and pretty much everything, but he hits like a truck. So if Ganon has advantage, he actually does a lot of damage, can keep you there assuming you don't have a decent option to get at disadvantage. So like let's say if you're a mid-tier and you don't necessarily have a bouncing fish or a flip jump or like a dive kick with Bayonetta or a quick attack, you know, Ganon can keep you in disadvantage and deal a lot of damage. He does actually have some pretty good edge guarding tools with run off nair. You see that a lot more in doubles, such as, or also like reverse up air, things like that. And obviously he does have the crazy kill potential and the, hey, we're both at last stock time to side B at the edge and I'm going to win because the game always makes me win. So that is a pretty scary thing. I do think Ganondorf is maybe better than Jigglypuff. I'm not 100% sure. It is very close. Obviously they are both garbage, so it really does not matter one way or the other. But up smash, yo, I think his up smash might be the best up smash in the game, like real talk. That move was broken. And the last character I'm going to put at the bottom tier is going to be King DaytoDay. So this character is very slow, very immobile, has a fake projectile because Gordo is actually garbage except in the one instance of that weird little ledge stick thing, which is actually kind of broken. But DaytoDay just doesn't have much. He does have his low percent footstool combos, that so if you get grabbed at 0 you go to about 35, but don't know if that works on every character. I don't know if it works on floaty characters or light characters at all, but you do get some decent damage. But the thing is, DaytoDay is so hard. It's so hard to get at a disadvantage as DaytoDay because his air mobility is complete garbage. His double jumps aren't really good enough to really make up for it. And yeah, he has landing nair and landing back air, but at the same time, those moves are kind of bad and punishable on shield by most characters, assuming you have maybe like a frame 5 aerial or something like that, 6 aerial, which most characters have access to, or like a fast up B. He really can't do anything. He can't get off the ledge either. DaytoDay, takes so much damage when you throw him off stage. He does not necessarily going to die because obviously his recovery is very far in terms of distance, but he can't get off the ledge safely at all. If you just cover ledge jump, if you react to any movement, cover ledge jump, and then just kind of like run back and get the grab. Like most characters can do that, even bad characters. Like even Ganon can do like a short hop up air to cover the ledge jump and then like dash grab or like side B back towards the roll or whatever. Like it is actually really unfortunate for DaytoDay. He cannot get off the ledge and that's where he's going to take a bunch of damage. He is a decent rage character, but at the same time doesn't really have a bunch of, let's say like a beat boop or something like that. That's like a real scary 50-50 with rage at early percents. Like yeah, he have down throw up air, but for the most part that isn't going to kill except very, very specific conditions and maybe even on town and city. So yeah, you can hit his Gordo back, you can keep him in disadvantage. His neutral is mediocre because a lot of his stuff is fake. Like, if you get hit by jab, you should never get hit by anything else if you just jump out. And DaytoDay is not fast enough to really catch you if you do so, unless you are a character with also super terrible air mobility, like let's say Ganondorf. But if you're comparing bottom tiers to bottom tiers, it really doesn't matter because as I mentioned, all the characters in this tier are about equal. And so that is going to be the bottom tier. And you notice someone in my last thing is missing, but he's actually right here. PacMan. So PacMan got a little bump up in my opinion. I obviously, still all of my general arguments are the same, but I cannot ignore that PacMan does have significantly better results than a top 3 character. And while I do not necessarily put results very strongly in my tier list because I'm doing it mostly off of like applicable theory, not like if you play perfectly you never get hit, like that type of thing, like no, but like applicable theory, and Sinji does too well in order to do that. And it's not like he's beating people that don't know the matchup. He's beating people in New York that definitely know the matchup. Granted, they're not like top 50 level for the most part, but either way, still a very, strong showing by him, and that honestly solely puts him at least into the like bottom 10 area as opposed to the bottom 3 or 4 area. He obviously has his hydrant tricks, he has his footstool out of shield is actually pretty good because he can Z-drop all of his items if he gets access to them, which he generally will. He does have some pretty decent kill confirms as well as general threat, but the problem is for the most part, if you avoid the 1 or 2 things that really are scary with PacMan, he can't kill you, and he can only stall for so long and eventually get hit by a rage move. Assuming that you don't get hit by Hydrant, which you can throw an aerial out, or you get hit by Key, which you can throw an aerial out and ping with it, same as Hydrant, or even Bell, you can do the same thing, or just catch it if you're confident with your item game. PacMan really does struggle to kill. A lot of his smash attacks don't work. His grab obviously doesn't work. He doesn't really have kill aerials, so he's pretty much going to be leading. He needs something like a side B combo or a Bell to hit, or Key or Hydrant to kill you, and if he doesn't get one of those, he will be struggling. And again, a game like Smash 4 where rage is a thing, you cannot struggle to kill people. It is a huge detriment to your play. Next is going to be a character that I get memed at a lot, obviously less so now because I haven't lost to one in a while, but the ever famous Dr. Mario from Nairo. So Doc he's bad. Yeah, he has down throw forward air, and yeah, some of his aerials are pretty good, and he does have footstool combos at low percent, but he's so slow, he's so edge guardable. But the reason I do put him slightly above the bottomest of bottom tier is because he does have those kill confirms. Like, none of the characters below have a real kill confirm. Even PacMan has decent kill confirms, or at least can keep away, but like Dr. Mario, his disadvantage is really bad, but his advantage is actually pretty decent, assuming you don't have like a good get off me option, or like a reset neutral option, like again, bouncing fish, flip jump, things like that, which a lot of low to mid tier characters do not have. So he can keep you in disadvantage a decent amount. He does have a crazy amount of kill potential, as well as off of throws, decent edge guarding because of Cyclone, and he has some stuff. Not a great character. It's not like I'm saying like, wow, he's like not bottom 10, because he clearly still is, but in my opinion, not the worst of characters, but definitely kind of a meme pick at this point. There's no reason, especially considering his moveset is similar enough to Mara's, where it's just like, okay, we'll just play the better version of your character, in my opinion. I don't really understand. And so that's pretty much going to be my opinion on that. Doc sucks, but he definitely does have some stuff. Up next is going to be a character that a lot of people love in terms of how cute he is, but he is not cute when it comes to gameplay because he is just kind of bad, and that is going to be Kirby. So Kirby, again, a main factor of all these characters, other than Jigglypuff, is the fact that they are very, very slow. Kirby, a little bit faster on the ground than the rest of these characters, but at the same time, has no air mobility. If he jumps, he just can't hit you, unless if you're just like any type of moving backwards. The thing about Kirby is you can have a 4% lead and literally just jump from platform to platform, and Kirby cannot catch you. It is really unfortunate. Yes, he does have low percent combos, forward throw, forward air, re-grab, down throw, or like forward throw, up air, something like that. Does like 25 or 30%. He does have some stuff. He does have landing down air, which is obviously good. He does have decent edge guarding when it comes to down air, forward air, back air, and even inhale can get some cheeky things. But at the same time, his neutral is very, very mediocre, unless you're playing with Beedoo and you're approaching with crouch, which crouch is obviously a really good option because of how short it is, but it's not good enough to make up for the mediocreness of the rest of the character. He does have some kill confirms with down air, down smash, but I'm not even sure how that works because I'm pretty sure you can just SDI up, not get hit by the landing hitbox, and never get hit by anything like that. You know, the thing that did help Kirby definitely a lot was up throw, but at the same time, the meta, you know, is either getting into strong punishes or running away forever, and Kirby can do neither and is susceptible to both. And so in my opinion, that is what puts Kirby down here. Definitely still a fun character. I definitely enjoy playing Kirby a lot casually, or when I'm just kind of messing around. I do it a lot when I'm streaming and things like that. But Kirby, definitely not great. And unfortunately, while this character may have been popular back in the day as he was one of the most interesting additions to Smash 4, Bowser Jr. is really, really bad. Honestly, the icing on the cake for him is if he gets hit out of his up B with a move that doesn't send you into tumble, he doesn't get his cart back and he dies. I literally have got so many kills on Bowser Jr. players that are doing pretty decent against me, and then I hit them with like jab or back air off stage and I just fast fall out and they don't get their recovery back, and that is super unfortunate. Obviously, Bowser Jr., not a lot of real kill confirms other than side B into up B hammer swing, but again, shield just kind of beats that. You know, his down air is not safe on shield. He doesn't really have many things that are safe on shield. His grab is really bad, if he had grab confirms, honestly, I think Bowser Jr. would be like top 30, top 25, but that one thing really honestly hurts him, not even for like kill confirms, but just like low percent combos. Bowser Jr. is the nickel and dime character, assuming he doesn't hit you with like a single upper, because upper can lead actually into a lot, but unfortunately this character is so weak. His projectiles are mostly fake pressure. You can crouch cancel, Mecha Koopa, Cannonball is one of the worst moves, if not the worst move in the game. Just all these characters honestly at the bottom have really, really bad moves that are pretty unusable, and Bowser Jr. is no exception to that, so only being able to use part of your moveset kind of sucks. So at the same time, he does have some pretty decent normals. I do like forward air, back air, up air, even like I like forward tilt as well, but at the same time, like it's like a decent individual moves, but it doesn't form into a cohesive moveset, in my opinion, and that's what really hurts Bowser Jr. because he does have some decent aspects about him, but they don't really work together, and he obviously does struggle. Like, he doesn't have as bad of a disadvantage as, let's say, these other characters, because he does have pretty decent air mobility, he does have side B. It is kind of difficult to pin him down when it comes to landing, but at the same time, it's not necessarily super easy to keep people in disadvantage. I feel like he's not particularly great at ledge trapping. His up air, you can't really on top of him because up air is so fast and will bait air dodge and then punish them, because again, he does have decent air mobility, but again, if his moveset just worked a little bit better with each other, I feel like Bowser Jr. would be a lot better of a character, but unfortunately it does not, and then obviously his recovery being that susceptible to random gimps at any time really, really hurts him. 1-1-1-1 Swordsman. I feel like this character does have some pretty decent normals. He kind of figures, or he's kind of like Bowser Jr. syndrome, where his moves don't really work together. He obviously has a really good short hop back air, or just like a landing back air. He has down throw up air, which does like 19% or something at low percents, but again, not a lot of kill confirms. Forward smash is punishable. It is pretty strong, although not as strong as Link's, obviously, but again, a lot of his moveset just doesn't work together. You know, his specials are all kind of garbage. His up is actually pretty good, and you can get some pretty cheesy kills with it. So, honestly, my favorite move of his is easily his down air. His down air is kind of busted. You can use it off stage and then like kind of pressure people below and then hit them with like the spike hitbox of your up B. So it's pretty decent at edge guarding, but again, just his neutral's lackluster. His short hop doesn't really work for a like a non-projectile character that has a sword. So it's not even like Toon Link, who's like has a floatier short hop, but he can like jump and pull bomb and make it safe. But Swordsman kind of just jumps, and then he's not as fast volley as Link, so it's not exactly a threatening short hop at first. And his nair is also like kind of really bad, so he can't even like throw out space like, oh, long lingering move that's kind of just in front of me like Link's nair, and it's just bad. He's just a worse version of Link, who is already not a super great character, but in my opinion, it's a struggle for him, man. He needs a less high, or like to be fast follier, so his short hop is a little bit more threatening, so he can threaten with, you know, like short hop back airs or short hop landing back airs. That's really a threat, as opposed to just people being able to go, oh, you short hop time to anti for kind of for free, unless he's, you know, drifting backwards, but in which case you lose stage, and he's not threatening enough to really take that stage back. And the last character going to go into bottom 10 is going to be, drumroll please, Charizard. So Charizard has a lot of flaws in him as a character. Obviously, his double jumps are really bad, his air mobility is really bad, so he can't even keep people in advantage as much as he wants to. He has to land on ground anti-air such as up smash and up tilt to really get that working. You know, he does have the super armor in terms of rock smash and flare blitz, but if you just pressure him from behind, it is so much more difficult for Charizard to land unless he's going to commit to a turnaround down B. But at the same time, if you can just grab him out of the startup of that, and it's a bad look. And yes, he does have some good options. His jab is a really, really good jab. He has one of the longest grab ranges in the game without sacrificing frame data. He does have grab combos until like about 95%, and then obviously has a kill throw at about 130 on lightweights, or maybe a little lower than that, I'm not sure, but definitely a good kill throw. But the thing is, if Charizard gets hit, he just gets hit for forever, because a lot of the times you can hit Charizard with like a quick anti-air and even shield rock smash and then punish him for that and then keep him in the air, and his double jumps are so bad. I wish he had more. His up B hitbox is atrocious, so you can't even use that as a reliable anti-air or like up B at a shield option. People fall out of that move all the time. And he does have some decent aspects about him. Again, his back air kills really early. His fair tipper kills really early. Does have a decent matchup, at least against Pikachu in the top tier. I don't know how his other matchups are in top tier. Decent against Mario, I feel like, as well, because he can keep him out. But at the same time, he gets hit and sometimes just loses an entire stock. And that's really unfortunate. He's really susceptible to zoning, although he does have a fast ground speed, but at the same time, his dash grab is really, really bad. Kind of like Sonic, and so it's not like the dash is like overwhelmingly good. Because then like if he does that, you know, his dash attack's pretty bad. He can't really do instant aerials that are threatening. So pretty much all he has is like dash, shield, okay, now I'm here, like time to like punish with jab or something like that. So unfortunate. It does have some pretty decent wins, because again, I feel like after the bottom 4, all the characters in this game are somewhat viable. At least at like some matchups. You know, you have seen, obviously, Dr. Mario has beat me in the past. Sinji has good results. Tweak had his crazy Bowser Jr. runs. Kirby, you have Komodo beating Ally. I don't really know about 1-1-1 Swordsman, but he's probably the most underplayed character, or the least played character in the entire game. And then Charizard has some decent wins with Sharpizard, and Bloodcross and a few other players. But someone has to be bottom 10 in this game, and I think Charizard does round out that list. And yeah, that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below. Look out for the rest of my tier list videos that will probably be coming out before Christmas, or probably around the Christmas time. I do have one last 2017 wrap up that I'm going to do. If you guys want me to do a like top 5 or 10 tournaments of 2017, please let me know. I will do that. And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye.